Paul the Octopus was a common octopus who supposedly predicted the results of association football matches. He made several accurate predictions in the 2010 World Cup, which brought him worldwide attention as an animal oracle. During divinations, Paul's keepers would present him with 2 boxes containing food. Each box was identical except for the fact that they were decorated with the different team flags of the competitors of an upcoming football match. Whichever box Paul ate from first would be considered his prediction for which team would win the match. His keepers at the Sea Life Center in Oberhausen, Germany, mainly tasked him with predicting the outcomes of international matches in which the German national football team was playing. Paul correctly chose the winning team in several of Germany's 6 Euro 2008 matches, and all 7 of their matches in the 2010 World Cup Euro, including Germany's third-place playoff win over Uruguay on July 10. Following these predictions, his success rate rose to 85%, with an overall record of 11 out of 13 correct predictions. Aside from his predictions involving Germany, Paul also foretold Spain's win against the Netherlands in the 2010 World Cup final by eating a mussel from the box with the Spanish flag on it. Experts have proposed several scientific theories to explain Paul's seemingly prescient behavior, ranging from pure luck to the possibility he was attracted to the appearance or smell of one box over another. Life. Paul was hatched in January 2008 from an egg at the Sea Life Centre in Weymouth, England, then moved to a tank at one of the chain's centres at Oberhausen in Germany. His name derives from the title of a poem by the German children's writer Boy Launson, Der Tintenfisch Paul Octopus. According to Sea Life's entertainment director, Daniel Fay, Paul demonstrated intelligence early in life. A Eurocube. There was something about the way he looked at our visitors when they came close to the tank. It was so unusual, so we tried to find out what his special talents were. A Eurocubed. The animal rights organization PETA commented that octopuses are some of the most intelligent of invertebrates, with complex thought processes, long and short-term memories, and different personalities. They can use tools, learn through observation, and are particularly sensitive to pain, according to the group. They said it would be cruel to keep Paul in permanent confinement. Sea Life Centres responded that it would be dangerous to release him, because he was born in captivity, and was not accustomed to finding food for himself. Following Paul's rise to fame, businessmen in Kabalia ±0, a community in Galicia, collected about $30,000 in a transfer fee to get Paul as main attraction of the local Fiesta del Pulpo festival. Manuel Pazzo, a fisher and head of the local business club, assured that Paul would be presented alive in a tank and not on the menu. Sea Life rejected the offer nevertheless. Divination. Paul's career as an oracle began during the UEFA Euro 2008 tournament. In the lead-up to Germany's international football matches, Paul was presented with 2 clear plastic boxes, each containing food, a mussel or an oyster. Each container was marked with the flag of a team, one the flag of Germany, and the other the flag of Germany's opponent. The box which Paul opened first was judged to be the predicted winner of the game. Professor Chris Budd, of the University of Bath, and Professor David Spiegelhalter, of Cambridge University, have both compared Paul's apparent success to a run of luck when tossing a coin. Under the hypothesis that Paul was equally likely to choose the winner or the loser of a match, and neglecting the possibility of a draw, he had a 1/2 chance of predicting a single result and a 1/64 chance of predicting 6 in a row. This feat would be unlikely to happen by chance alone, but not hugely so. Spiegelhalter points out that there are other animals that have attempted but failed to predict the outcome of football matches. It is not remarkable that one animal is more successful than the others, and only the successful animals will gain public attention after the fact. Other experts propose that chance alone is not the only possible explanation for Paul's choices. He could have been choosing boxes systematically a Euro, if not on the basis of football expertise, then perhaps on his evaluation of the country's flags. Of a total of 14 predictions, Paul chose Germany 11 times, the only other choices being Spain and Serbia. The species Octopus vulgaris is almost certainly color-blind. Neither behavioral studies nor electroretinogram experiments show any discrimination of a color's hue. Nonetheless, individuals can distinguish brightness as well as an object size, shape, and orientation. Shulam Alam of Bangor University states that they are drawn to horizontal shapes, and indeed, there are horizontal stripes on the flags he has chosen. The flag of Germany, a bold tricolour consisting of 3 equal horizontal bands of black, red and gold, was Paul's usual favourite. But the flag of Spain, with its broad yellow stripe, and the flag of Serbia, with its contrast of blue and white, are more vivid still, possibly explaining why Paul picked those countries over Germany. Fay suggested that Paul was confused by the similarities between the German and Spanish flags. This was on July 6, when Fay expressed hope that Paul's latest pick would be wrong. Matthew Fuller, the senior aquarist at the Weymouth Park where Paul was born, judged the flag design theory to be plausible. Octopuses are the most intelligent of all the invertebrates, and studies have shown they are able to distinguish shapes and patterns, so maybe Euro unregistered trademark is able to recognize flags. Vyacheslav Bysykov, a Russian biologist, agrees that it is possible for an octopus to become attracted to a striped flag. Drusos Koutsubos, a marine biologist at the University of the Aegean, was more cautious. Well, I'm not a specialist in the behavior of octopuses and I can't give you with certainty an answer to this particular question. At least to my knowledge, it's rather a matter of random selection rather than any other selection. Octopus vulgaris is also equipped with sensitive chemoreceptors on its tentacles, which are used to taste food and smell the water. Biologist Volker Misk, of the University of Greifswald, has suggested that minor chemical differences on the surface of each box might have accounted for Paul's decisions. Bysykov stated that Paul could have been easily trained to choose the right box by smell. According to Paul's keepers, there were holes in the jars to help him choose. Theories of his behavior could have been systematically tested if Paul were to have repeated his selection many times, but he only selected one box per game. Results. In UEFA Euro 2008, Paul correctly predicted the outcome of 4 out of 6 of Germany's matches. He failed to predict their defeats by Croatia in the group stage, and by Spain in the Championships final. 2010 FIFA World Cup. Paul's accurate choices for the 2010 World Cup, broadcast live by German news channel NTV, endowed him with celebrity status. Paul predicted the winners of each of the 7 2010 FIFA World Cup matches that the German team played, against Australia, Serbia, Ghana, England, Argentina, Spain, and Uruguay. His prediction that Argentina would lose prompted Argentine chef Nicolas Bedorati to post an octopus recipe on Facebook. There are always people who want to eat our octopus, but he is not shy and we are here to protect him as well. He will survive. Paul correctly predicted the outcome of the semi-final, by choosing the food in the box marked with the Spanish flag. German supporters drew hope from his incorrect choice for the Germany vs Spain match in the UEFA Euro 2008 but were disappointed. The prediction led to death threats as German fans called for Paul to be cooked and eaten. In response, Spanish Prime Minister José Copyright Zapatero offered to send Paul official state protection, and the industry minister Miguel Sebastián called for Paul to be given safe haven in Spain. The president of Iran, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, criticized Paul, accusing him of being a symbol of Western decadence and decay. Doubts were expressed, notably in the German press, as to whether Paul was actually the same octopus in 2010 as in 2008. Results involving Germany, results not involving Germany, similar predictors. Some other German oracles did not fare so well in the World Cup. The animals at the Chemnitz Zoo were wrong on all of Germany's group stage games, with Leon the porcupine picking Australia, Petty the pygmy hippopotamus spurning Serbia's apple-top pile of hay, and Anton the tamarin eating a raisin representing Ghana. Marnie the parakeet of Singapore became famous for correctly predicting the results of all 4 quarter-final matches. Marnie contradicted Paul by picking the Netherlands to win the final, resulting in some media outlets describing the game as an octopus versus parakeet showdown. The intelligent personal assistant Microsoft Cortana topped Paul by correctly predicting the winners of the first 14 matches of the 2014 FIFA World Cup knockout stage, including the semi-finals, before it incorrectly picked Brazil over the Netherlands in the third-place playoff match. Death and legacy. Paul was last checked by staff on October 25, 2010, and was in good health, but the following morning he was found dead. He was aged 2.5, a normal lifespan for the species. His agent, Chris Davis, said it's a sad day. Paul was rather special, but we managed to film Paul before he left this mortal earth. Sea Life Center manager Stefan Paul will remember Paul as an octopus who had enthused people across every continent. In 2010 UTouch Labs developed an iPhone app called Ask the Octopus. On June 17, 2014, during the 2014 FIFA World Cup, Paul was featured in a Google Doodle. He was represented as in heaven, perched on a billowy bed of clouds and adorned with a halo. When animated, he appeared to vacillate in his predictions for the day's matches. Paul was again featured on July 13 in the Doodle for the 2014 final. In that Doodle, clicking on the clouds in the upper left brings up an image of Paul, similar to that in the earlier Doodle, cheering on the final from heaven. References. Footnotes. Further reading. German fans want revenge grilling of Oracle Octopus. The Washington Post. Retrieved July 10, 2010. Paul's picking Spain. The Daily Gleaner July 10, 2010. Pia before. Retrieved July 10, 2010.